Hi everyone, I'm Lori and welcome back to Tailgate Talks. This is where we sit on the back of the tailgate and talk about what's happening on site behind us here at the bridges at Oxford Greens. And today we're getting talk from the top with Mr. Chris Bennet, who is one of the vice presidents of construction at EG Home. And he's going to give us the update on where we are and where we're going in the next few months.
Lori, thank you for scheduling this on one of the coldest days of the
I
year.
know, I'm sorry about that. That wasn't my fault.
Good thing we have our EG Home garb on.
We got all our gear.
So BOG, right? Bridges of Oxford Green.
Yes.
So exciting community, right? We opened the models this past summer. We had the golf simulator. We had lots of fun.
We did.
And so we're looking for a big year. And I know sales, it's on fire right now.
Sales is going well. Yes.
Right? Sales are going well. So, the thought is that this time of year, it's tough, right? We've got cold weather protocols we have to follow. So it slows us down in concrete. Like we may not even be pouring concrete at all this week. So hopefully it'll warm up. As we know, this is Connecticut, so it'll get a little warmer and we'll start pouring. But we hope to finish the paving all the way down through the crossing and past 93, 94 into that new area. We're going to be opening up, I think, new units in a couple of weeks.
Hopefully, yes.
So the paving will continue in the spring, and kind of what we hope to see around that May, late April, is that the rest of this part of the road, all the way to the crossing, looks like the model.
Okay.
Grass is in, driveways are in, homes are sided, more people living here, more activity, so that we can give prospective buyers a real good idea what it's going to be like and what it's going to look like, I guess, to live here at Bridges, right? So that's the expectation, and we'll meet the expectation. So we've got so many talented people, including Chris Oliveira, who runs land development, and he'll make sure all that happens, of course, and Brad as well, which
yes.
is on site here. So, as you know, we have a huge team of people.
We do.
So, and everybody has a certain department and a certain responsibility that we rely on each of us, or on everybody, to make sure that we meet our expectations and our goals. And
yes.
So anyway, yeah, that's what I expect to see. When you drive through here, and I always talk about CMs, like, what is the house going to look like in a week? Well, here is what is this going to look like in May? And that's what we expect it to look like. Green with lots of activity.
And warm.
And warm, right? And much warmer than it is today.
That's right. And we'll have homeowners moved in by then.
Right. We'll have happy homeowners moved in.
We will.
Yep.
So it's going to have a completely different feel.
Right.
But as of right now, we are sub-freezing temperatures, I think a lot of people have questions on how does EG Home keep the process moving, and how do we stay on schedule with these really frigid conditions?
Yeah, again, this time of year is tough, but I'll tell you, in the last year or 2 years, we've had more on-time closings than we've ever had. And it speaks a lot to process. So the process is that, and this is unique to EG Home, every week there is a site walk with a senior manager and the construction team, and they go to each home and they talk about where the home is and where it needs to be in a week. And then we have little to-dos, and we click on that through ClickUp, as you know, and the CM is expected to get the house to that next metric. So if it's at drywall this week, we expect it to be at prime next week. And then next week it needs to be at prime, and then we say where is it going to be in the week after, and that's going to be at tile. That's how we keep the process moving all year round, so that we hit the closing that we projected. And we're telling you to tell people when can they expect to be in. We need to make sure that we hit those dates. So as far as cold weather, we have, like I said, cold weather protocol that we have to follow. Yeah. When it's down in the negative or 1 degree at night, we're not pouring concrete right now. We have a couple of ground heaters that we own, and the ground heaters, we bring them in and they do exactly what it sounds like. They heat the ground up, get the frost out. We can pour footings, and then we pour the concrete, put the ground heater back on, let it cure, and then we can put the walls up, and then we actually take the ground heater, which actually is just a tube that's filled with this product that keeps the tube hot and keeps the concrete warm. Then we wrap the entire foundation in blankets so we can pour. But even right now, it's too cold, even with a ground heater.
I see.
So yeah, it'll be a little delay for probably the next 2 weeks. We may pour some flat work, and probably that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it just gives us a lot to do in the spring. So,
yes.
So we'll be very busy in the spring.
So we have plenty of time to catch up where we may have been delayed with the freeze or the snow type of thing.
Right.
But all our processes work towards gearing everything for that closing date that we've potentially promised to a homeowner.
Right. Yeah, it's really that site walk that happens every week. It happens on every job, and it really is the accountability. And we have people that want to do it. Like, we don't have to motivate people because we have the right people. They're self-motivated. So as long as they follow the process, if they say it's going to be at drywall next week, it's at drywall next week. So, and they push that, and they push it with a sense of urgency because we know the one thing buyers love, right? If they buy a house and they drive through, right? They drive through today and they see, oh, the framing's just about done. And they drive through in a week or two, oh, the siding, the windows are done. Then they drive through another week and oh, mechanicals. Prospective buyers, our customers love to see progress. What they don't like to see is their brand new home sitting for weeks on end without activity. And that just doesn't happen here. It may happen with a little bit of the weather, like we're going to slow down, so it's going to go a little slower.
Right.
But you can expect to see activity every time you come on the job site on your home.
Yeah. Even today, and I don't know if the audience can see behind us, but there are multiple trades on site. It's like 5 degrees out here, and everybody is working in different capacities because the homes are in different stages. So it's really exciting to see that our processes allow for all year long construction to keep things moving and keep it on schedule. And that kind of leads to my next question is, how do we at EG Home keep the quality consistent across all the homes that we deliver? Because we're across the whole state now.
Right.
It's not just here at Bridges.
Right. And the process is the same no matter if you're here or if you're down at one of the shoreline communities. We have a QA program that we put in place maybe 5, 6 years ago. And I think there's 36 actual QA inspections. So the construction manager on that site walk that I referred to, where you're talking about production, where's the house going to be in a week? We're also talking about, hey, rough plumbing just finished. Did we get the QA done? Have we checked all the items? Is it done properly? Did we get all the options in the house as selected? So we're also checking to make sure that each QA is done along the line. A lot of builders wait till the end and they do all their QA in the last week and they have hundreds of items. We like to punch the house as we go. So if you're doing your QA at every step of construction, when you get to the next, those QA items or those punch, they're done. And then you focus on whatever the new ones are.
Yeah.
And it also helps us to hit on-time closings. If you're punching the house as you go and you're holding the subcontractors accountable for the quality, right, as you go, and you're addressing items, when you get to the end, there really isn't a lot to do. You put the carpet in, you do your paint touch-up, we do our clean, and then as you know, we do our own internal homeowner walk. Like it's like a mock homeowner walk where we come through, we really pick the house apart to make sure that when that homeowner comes 2 weeks after that, so when we think the house is perfect, we do our walk. 2 weeks later is the first homeowner walk. And that's why when people go to close, their post-closing items are like, I think the average is like 3 items now, which is unbelievable for the industry. If you know anything about production home building, like it's just unheard of that you would only have that many items.
It really is. Yeah. So it speaks to the leadership and the team in place making all this happen. It's a lot of work. It doesn't just happen on its own.
Right. It's a lot of hard work.
It's a lot of work.
I may make it sound simple, but it's not. The construction team, the men and women that are out building the houses, they're running all day. There's so much they have to do, whether it's a simple night before call to every subcontractor, making sure they didn't forget, they're on the schedule, and then in the morning meeting them for a pre-task meeting to go over all the options just one more time to make sure we don't make a mistake. That's happening with every subcontractor in every home. Not to mention the scheduling, not to mention the QAs, right? Not to mention trying to keep the job safe, not to mention managing all the material, making sure you count every stick to make sure that the job can get done.
Yeah.
That's all happening every day, every home. So think about that. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot to keep track of. We have great processes in place to make people feel comfortable that their home will be completed with the highest level of quality in the time frame that we have discussed with them.
That's it. In a nutshell, if you build the home on time and a high level of quality, for the most part, people are very happy with that.
Yeah. Well, we have our first closing coming up. It's actually the house right behind us at 1099. So that will be our first homeowner moving in a couple of weeks. So we're all really excited about that. It's going to change the feeling of the community completely. And I guess the last thing I want to ask you, because it is freezing cold out here, so just one more thing, because it does take a lot of time and effort and collaboration to pull together a development like this. So for EG Home to get to this point where we now have vertical construction, we have closings happening, When you step back and take a look at all of this today, what makes you most proud?
Well, I think that a lot of people don't realize it starts sometimes years before what you see today. And it starts with our land acquisition department. They're out, or he's out scrubbing, looking for pieces of
Yep.
ground, for pieces of property that make sense in the right neighborhoods,
Right.
right, the right areas. And so it goes from there to some due diligence, and then contracting, and then probably approvals, which can take in Connecticut, could take a year, 2 years. So there's all that hard work that's done up, and then you've got site improvements and the hard work by the land development team, and then obviously vertical comes in. So I think it's just a testament to the company in general, and it gets back to, we hire for culture, as you know. The
Yes.
cultural fit is the most important thing to us. So when you hire for culture and you have the right people in the right seats, right?
Yeah.
They don't need to be motivated, and I think that speaks a lot to when you look at something like this, where we're at today. It talks about really that every single person they want to see where we're at today. They want to build houses. We all have the same underlying interest, which is to build a great home and build it on time. But again, it starts many months, sometimes years before what you see today.
Yeah.
So that's probably what I'm most proud of, is that everybody comes together. We've got a fantastic group of people. So yeah, that's it, I guess. I mean, I could probably go on and on, but
I know
it's really cold.
Could. It is really cold. It is for
So,
sure.
yeah.
But has been an amazing collaboration with a lot of wonderful people at EG Home, and we are so excited to be able to share this with everybody out there now. So if you have been driving through the bridges, if you have visited our beautiful furnished models at any point, or if you are just curious about what's going on out here, stay tuned, because we'll be back soon to update you again in a couple of weeks. Chris, thank you so much for
You're
sitting
welcome.
with us
You're
and
welcome.
for sharing all your insight. It was really informative.
Great.
Thank you.
Stay warm.
See you soon.